peeks, fun quizzes, and the scoop on special events. Sign up now at soapnet.com.
So, the fix on the story is Councilman Ryan and the tenants against an unscrupulous landlord.
You got it.
We're the good guys. Nobody loves a landlord.
Sometimes not even his own mother.
Now, you understand that even though every fiber of my being cries out in sympathy with what you stand for, as a newsman, I have to be objective.
Right. Well,
You can ask him any questions you want. Don't worry about it.
Is he allowed to answer?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I notice that every time I ask him a question, you answer.
once the interview begins, I promise to do all the talking.
No, I see that your affections are short-lived.
Oh, I don't know.
A few minutes ago, you were asking me to marry you. Now all you want is silence.
I'm not sure the two don't go together.
Whoa! You'd like to interview her.
All right, everybody, down to business. Mr. Ryan, do you want to rest that for a moment? We're not quite ready, and you must be getting heavy.
Yeah, they are heavy.
What's serious?
Well, it's an interview. This is Mr. Crowell from Channel R, right? That's the cable TV. This is Delia, Frank's wife.
How do you do, Mrs. Ryan?
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. Frank, there's going to be television. It's right here.
That's what they tell me,
Mr. Ryan, how would you feel about Mrs. Ryan sitting in with you?
Yeah, well, if that's what you want, fine with me.
How about it?
Sure. Where do I sit?
Right over
Okay.
here.
Let me just get my coat off.
There you go.
Here's me.
Yeah.
Great.
I think our audience is going to like this a lot. I only hope you don't steal the show. All right, down to business.
Yes, possible.
Quiet, please. This is a take. Frank Ryan interview, take one.
Mr. Crowell,
Yes?
don't you want your lights on?
Oh, not a half bad idea. Mr. Ryan, there's a doohickey there.
I got him right on. Here we go. How's it?
Francesco, keep your chin up. You look better that way.
Yes, my double chins.
Mr. Crowell. You've got the lens cap on your camera, you know.
Oh. There. Thanks.
It's all right.
Okay, this is for real. Facing Channel R's inquiring camera today is Riverside's newest city councilman, Frank Ryan, and his charming wife, Daphne. Councilman Ryan, what do you think is the biggest challenge?
People are talking about General Hospital's Lucky and Siobhan. D. Hunter Roscoe posted on Facebook, "Finally a love for Lucky. He and Siobhan are great together." Charlotte May adds, "This is great. I hope it works out for these two." Laura Bruno says, "Men are always sexier when they're happy and in love." And Lori McPherson Draper sums it all up. "They are just the cutest couple. Way to go, GH. I love this storyline." People are talking about General Hospital. Weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
These pretzel M&Ms are really good.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to stop eating them myself. Guess that's how I ended up with this pretzel inside me. After all, you know what they say. You are what you eat, right?
Huh, yeah, right. Imagine if that were true. You are what you eat. What a bunch of malarkey.
M&M's pretzel. A crunchy pretzel inside an M&M's.
What are you looking at?
All right, everyone, we're live in 60.
The dreaded first sneeze. That crucial moment when you're left with a choice. Shorten your cold or suffer through it. At the first sign, get rid of your cold faster with Zicam.
If you could see how nature-made fish oil protects your heart, you'd be really glad you take it. You're doing a really smart thing. The omega-3s in fish oil strengthen your cell walls so they stay flexible. And nature-made fish oil is the #1 recommended by pharmacists. You really know your fish oil. To learn why Nature Made is the best fish oil for you, go to naturemade.com. Nature Made. Glad you took your vitamins.
Want one-of-a-kind eyes? Individualize with the CoverGirl Exact Eyelights collection. Green eyes, here's the look for you. Blues, hazels, and browns have their look too. Individualize with Exact Eyelights from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
I lost 34 pounds.
35 pounds.
30 pounds.
Thank you, America, for making Hydroxycut the #1 selling weight loss supplement brand.
I'm Matt from Colorado. I lost 54 pounds. Thanks, Hydroxycut.
I highly recommend Hydroxycut. The key ingredients are clinically proven to help people lose more weight.
I'm Allison from Texas. I lost 40 pounds. Hydroxycut really works.
New Hydroxycut and Hydroxycut Max. Lose weight. Start now.
Hi.
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 How is everything?
Well, I'm overworked, underslept, and not entirely sure I know what I'm doing, but other than that, things are great.
You know, I was hoping you'd say something like that. How'd you like to be taken away from all of this?
Anywhere. You got any particular place in mind?
Well, Daddy's been invited to attend a symposium in Atlanta. He's flying out this afternoon. Pat, you and I can have the house all to ourselves.
Oh.
We both don't have duty till noon tomorrow, so I figure we'll just lock the doors, pull down the shades.
I don't know, Faith. There's something about your family's house.
Oh, come on. It's just a lot nicer than the intern quarters, that's all. And we'll have the kitchen. I'll make you cornbread for breakfast.
Roger had come up from the garden apartment to share it with us, huh?
Roger doesn't come upstairs very much these days. He knows he's in disgrace with everybody, and he just doesn't like to show his face.
Well, it'd be just our luck for him to decide tonight's the perfect time to mend the family fences. Hello, Pat. Imagine finding you here. Aren't you cold?
I don't care if he does.
I love you and I love being with you, but a little discretion.
I don't want to be discreet. Pat, I would like to send up balloons saying, I love Pat Ryan.
Maybe that's part of the trouble, Faith.
What do you mean by that? Oh.
I was talking to Bucky a little while ago, and he was telling me how some girls have a way of not hearing what you tell them.
Like what?
Like you and I agreed that we weren't going to have any long-range commitment to each other.
I know that, Pat.
And maybe you're becoming more involved with me than we had planned. And that makes me feel awful penned in.
Well, Pat, I think that's really rotten. You and Bucky discussing me. Did you decide anything else about how I feel?
Well, I certainly didn't mean to disappoint you.
Well, how do you and Bucky decide just how involved I am with you? Does my wanting to be together in the intern quarters seem like too much?
No.
Well, then what's the difference between being together there and in my house, except for my house is a lot more comfortable?
Oh, Faith, come on.
Look it, Pat, when you want to know something about me, why don't you ask me? I'm a much better source than Bucky.
Okay, I'll ask you right now. Now, I don't mean to sound egotistical. And, this is just because I'm concerned about you. But are you sure you're not getting a little hung up on me?
I'm not getting hung up on you. But I do love you and I want to be with you. But it isn't anything I can't manage. Really.
Hey, Faith, I'm sorry. But I'd still just as soon we not use your family's house.
Why not?
Oh, Faith.
Okay, look, I guess that was really a dumb idea, and I really understand. I'm sorry. Will I see you later tonight in the intern quarters?
Oh, sure. Look, I love being with you. It's only using your father's house.
Yeah, I
It's
really
too much.
understand, Pat.
Okay, great. I gotta get back to work. See you later?
Sure. And don't worry about me, okay?
Okay.
One last question, Councilman. Do you have any plans to work to reopen the Senior Citizens Center on Broadway that was closed recently?
Mr. Crowell, I'm not going to pretend to be a miracle worker. Obviously, if the money can be found, the center should be reopened. I think it's a shame that it's the old and the poor who usually suffer when the system breaks down, and I'm going to do everything I can to restore services. But I don't want to raise false hopes or make promises I can't keep. Let me just say that in my judgment, when the national economic picture improves, I feel hopeful that the city's economic situation will improve. And we'll be all be able to do a lot more things that we'd like to do.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. And now, if I may, I'd like to ask a question or two of Mrs. Ryan.
All right.
Mrs. Ryan, has your life changed in Riverside since your husband's election to the city council?
Oh, it has. You know, it was very, very hard on us during the campaign because Frank was away a lot and then he got hurt. But then, since the election, well, he's been able to spend a lot more time at home. And I think that's a change for the good.
Thank you, Mrs. Ryan and Councilman Ryan.
Thank you.
Bravo!
Thank you all.
I get so nervous.
Oh, no, you weren't nervous at all.
That was very well done.
Thank you.
I love it. It was terrific. It was very hard. Really good. The next mayor of our city. You know about that.
Good.
How was it, Sam? Did I give you everything you wanted?
Mr. Ryan, you could sell soap to a 9-year-old.
Oh,
you were great.
That's what I was
Listen,
asking.
I got a great idea. Get Frank's chair. We'll all belly up to the bar and have some of our best Irish whiskey out of the house. How about that?
Wait till you taste this.
Frank, ease yourself in.
Thank you.
And we'll sit you on a stool up there, okay?
Would you like something to eat, Mr. Crowell?
Oh, Mrs. Ryan, that would be very nice. I haven't had anything to eat all day.
Good, we'll take care of that.
Mr. Crowell, how do you manage to do these interviews without people like us to help you?
Oh, there's usually someone who's willing to work with a tape recorder. Channel R doesn't worry about things like that.
Oh, what does Channel R worry about?
Subway tokens.
Oh, no. That means you are underfinanced.
Just a little. Fortunately, we do most of our remotes in Riverside, which means that everything's within walking distance. You'd be surprised how heavy that stuff can get after the first 20 blocks.
No company car?
Company car. Channel R's policy is that if God had wanted us riding around, he'd have given us wheels instead of feet.
Listen, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but don't newsmen have a tremendous expense accounts?
Dreams, dreams, not with hard-hearted Channel R.
No, I don't know. I don't see how you guys do it. I really don't.
It wasn't so bad when I had Stanley working with me. He was really terrific. Smart, hardworking, keeping me from going off in all directions at once. Putting in 15 or 20 hours of overtime every week without pay. And were they grateful?
They weren't?
Just listen.
You deserve it.
We did a remote that lasted till 1 in the morning. And Stanley buying my coffee as well as his. Get the picture?
Got it.
So I told him to take a taxi home because it was so late and he was carrying half the equipment. So he did. And last week, he put in a voucher for $3.75. And our Mr. Murdstone refused to pay it. The comptroller mentality. He said the taxi wasn't on company business.
Oh.
So Stanley fixed him.
Oh, how did he do that?
He quit, and when he left for the Maine woods, he took the card file.
Oh, no.
What's that?
Our heart's blood, that's all. All the news contacts, names, addresses, telephone numbers
Gotcha.
that the company built up in the last 2 years. We are in so much confusion now.
Well, surely he sent it back if someone asked him.
Well, I'm not about to ask. Stanley is holding our card file for $3.75 ransom. And they ought to pay him $1 million.
I like Stanley.
Besides, Stanley was always cheerful, and our Mr. Murdstone doesn't understand about people who are cheerful. When he sees somebody smiling, I'm sure he thinks they're gloating over a pocket of stolen paper clips.
Mr. Crowell, now tell me, is his name really Mr. Murdstone?
It's out of Dickens. Murdstone was David Copperfield's stepfather.
That's right.
A thoroughly detestable man. Our comptroller has another name, but we've called him Murdstone for so long, I'm not sure that any of us know what it is.
Are you serious?
Oh, Dee, of course he is.
You're teasing me.
All My Children, life-changing event.
If I die,
You are not going to die. But the race to save her life
We gotta get her out of here or we don't stand a chance.
takes a tragic turn. Watch All My Children, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 8 on SoapNet.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state and back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you could wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at 800-715-4850 or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax. 800-715-4850.
Go to SoapNet.com to sign up for the weekly SoapNet newsletter, the source for all the latest soap news. Enjoy a weekly email with links to photo galleries of your favorite stars, cast comings and goings, storyline sneak peeks, fun quizzes, and the scoop on special events. Sign up now at SoapNet.com.
The debate is on. No other place talks politics like this.
In politics, all's fair.
No topic is ever off the table.
So amazing.
The View, weekdays only on ABC.
You have just rescued a desperate man from the brink of starvation.
Well, I shouldn't wonder. I don't suppose Mr. Murdstone is any more generous with you about paying, is he?
Oh, alas, he is not. And the Irish is first rate. It's not the kind of whiskey most places around here serve.
Well, we try not to be like most places, see?
Ryans, that must mean you own this place.
Indeed we do, about 8 years now.
Yes, us in the bank.
Goes without saying, huh?
Well, I hope you won't think it's presumptuous, but with a nice business like this, and a family you can be proud of, I'd say you and Mrs. Ryan were very lucky people.
That we are.
A city councilman and a clever daughter.
5 clever children, all in all.
Oh, yes.
Ryans are very special.
Jack, when'd you get here?
A couple of minutes ago.
Oh, Sam Crowell from Channel R. This is Jack Finelli from the Courier.
I've seen your column. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Jack, you know, Frank and I were interviewed. Now, when is that going to be on the air?
In about a week. I'll have to let you know. You got to get cable in here if you expect to see it, though.
Well, I think maybe I can manage that.
Oh, that's great.
Well, it's certainly been the most pleasant remote I've ever done. Mr. and Mrs. Ryan for being such good interviewees.
Thank you.
Miss Ryan for helping me remember which way to point the camera.
You know, I think you can call me Mary.
Okay, I'm Sam, Mary. What are you doing for dinner?
Oh, watch that. Here's another Pat.
Oh, who's that?
Man after my own heart.
Who's that?
My brother.
My other brother.
Do you go to dinner with him very often?
Oh, on and off now for about the last 20 years.
Time for a change, then. Seriously, with your organizational ability, you could probably help me untangle all the information on Frank here before we get to the fortune cookies.
Oh, Chinese dinner. Love it.
That's my subtle way of telling you it's all I can afford.
Oh, well, I don't see why you couldn't eat here, and then you could ask questions of the whole family.
That would be great. Deep down inside, I know your cooking is every bit as good as Mr. Ryan's whiskey.
I hate to spoil your plans, but Mary has a previous engagement.
I'm sorry, Sam, but thanks for the asking.
Break my heart, it's all right.
Oh, well, we're not gonna let you go home hungry anyway. Stay having dinner with us.
I'd like that very much.
Look, we'll give you all the information about Frank you want.
Though it won't be quite the same as getting it from Mary.
Oh, Francesco, it'll be better. Wanna go?
If you're ready.
Sure. Bye, everybody.
So long, Mary.
See you, Sam.
See you around.
Next, take a trip to the Upper West Side on Ryan's Hope. Later, spend some time in Genoa City with the Young and the Restless, only on SoapNet. Who's coming and who's going? SoapNet has a status update on your favorite stars. On General Hospital, just before he hosts the Academy Awards, critically acclaimed actor James Franco returns to wreak havoc in Port Charles.
I'm a whack job, ask anyone.
Carrie Payton is now on staff at General Hospital as Dr. Terrell Jackson.
So it seems.
House hunter Suzanne Wang is Carol Chang, wedding planner.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
And on One Life to Live, General Hospital's Ted King is moving to Landview.
Quick.
Keep up with the latest status updates on SoapNet.
There's a revolution in weight loss, and it begins with you.
Okay, here it goes.
I lost 80 pounds,
45 pounds.
I'm the incredible shrinking woman.
I'm much more outgoing and happy and ecstatic all the time.
This is me.
This is the new Nutrisystem.
Hello.
We sent out cameras across the country and asked you to tell us your success stories in your words. You've changed and inspired us to change too. We've recruited top chefs to help remake and reinvent our foods. Food's so good, you'll rethink what it means to be on a diet.
I've lost 101 pounds.
Never felt better in a black dress before.
Nice job.
We're gonna have some fun now.
It's time to say hooray you. And now, introducing the Nutrisystem Rollback Sales Event. We're rolling back our prices to the lowest they've been since 2003. Get started and lock in for around $2 per meal with free shipping. This limited time offer won't last long, so call 888-659-SIZE or visit Nutrisystem.com.
We're all patients of his. He didn't tell you? I wanted to think that I was the only one.
This is my past, my regret.
Do not dwell in the past.
Leo!
Do not dream of the future. 9 years from now, something awful is going to happen here.
Am I dead? Oh my God. What if I made a mistake?
A SoapNet original primetime drama. Being Erica. All new. Wednesdays at 11. Only on SoapNet.
One big wedding.
We're the luckiest women in the world.
One big secret.
You changed my paternity test?
Who's the father?
Oh, God.
And the confession.
Stop lying to me!
That will change it all.
I slept with Brody.
Watch One Life to Live. Weekdays on ABC. And weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
People are talking about General Hospital's Jason Morgan. Nicole Lachelle Alvarez posted on Facebook, I love Jason. Candace Prophet says, how I love you. Let me count the ways. Linda Lair Cox says, hot, hot, hot. Who doesn't love bad boys? And Melissa Russell Gray adds, my absolute favorite character ever. What a sexy man. People are talking about General Hospital. Weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
This marriage is a farce.
Now that she's an Abbott,
I'm joining Abby in her lawsuit.
let the battle begin.
We're going to war.
The Young and the Restless, tonight at 7 on SoapNet.
There you are.
Oh, Faith, hello. You want some coffee?
No, I've been looking for you, Bucky.
You know, I just ducked in here for a second to try to get myself straight on a neuritis that just came.
Well, that's not the only thing you have to get straight.
Hey, are you mad?
Well, I have a bone to pick.
With me?
Yeah. Bucky, you've been making trouble. You know, I made the mistake the other day when I was very upset of telling you some things that were personal, some things about Pat.
Yeah?
And I assumed you knew when I told you those things that I was sharing them with you in confidence.
Oh, Faith, you don't understand.
No, you had to go and tell Pat everything I told you.
But it wasn't like that.
Well, how was it?
Well, I was concerned about you, that's all.
Bucky, who made you my keeper? Who told you to come rushing to my rescue? Or did you do it on purpose because you thought it might make trouble between Pat and me?
Now, you know that isn't true.
I don't know it. couldn't have done anything that would upset Pat more.
I only told him the truth.
But who asked you to, Bucky? You know, I thought you were my friend. The last thing I expected was for you to go rushing off to Pat.
Look, I think you're being pretty dumb. I mean, you tell me one thing and you go and tell Pat something entirely different. Faith, that isn't exactly smart.
Look, I don't ask you to run my life. And I'm not going to run yours. I try to do the best I can, even though I don't ask your advice every step of the way, all right?
Oh, well, excuse me. I won't make the mistake of giving you any advice again.
Great. That'll suit me fine.
I may think you're driving for a terrific fall, but I won't say anything about it.
Glad to hear that.
You know, Pat's average with any one of his girls is about 4 weeks. Now, you are past that limit already. Now, my opinion might be that it won't be any different for you than it was for Nancy or Sybil or any of the other girls, but you won't hear a word from me.
Good.
Even if I think you're begging for trouble.
Bucky, I don't see it that way, and I don't need you to tell me how it's going to be.
You don't mind being one in a long line of girls?
You're saying so doesn't make that true. Now, will you just stop it, please?
Okay. You're not listening to me, so I might as well get out of here before I make you feel any worse than you do already.
I don't want to be one in a long string of girls.
Pat Ryan made you cry, didn't he, Faith? I'm sorry. You're not the girl who should cry. You should be happy and smiling and laughing. I wish I could be the one. But I'm just a lab technician and you're a doctor, so how could you see me as a person to turn to? But maybe I could surprise you. Maybe I could make a place down here where you could be happy. The sort of place I wanted to make for Mother. You'd like it, Faith. I could fix this room up in such a special way. Faith's room. Oh, wouldn't you be surprised?
In Port Charles, revenge is a priority, relationships are disposable, and good medical care is a necessity. Keep up with this fast-paced city with an all-new episode of General Hospital, weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.